Hi! I haven't made a video in like almost a year. So I'm going to do black beans today. Actually, we don't have any more black beans in my house, so I'm cooking them right now. Oh, there we go. There they are, right in there. And then I'm gonna put them in the canner. So the best secret, sorry, I have to plug my phone in, it's about to die. The best secret for black beans or any beans when you're going to can them is to soak them overnight, the whole night. Soak them in water, it breaks down the starches, which cause stomach aches and gas. So soak them, rinse them, and then we're gonna can them. This is the beginning of the beans, what they first look like. So now we're soaking the beans. We've been soaking them for a while. I filled it up about 3 inches over the beans with water, and then I threw in some baking soda. But these beans are expanding now that they've been sitting. That's what they're gonna do all night. All right, I told y'all before that I cheat when I'm canning. I don't do that extra step to sterilize stuff. I just let it sit in here and boil while I'm getting everything else ready, because that's sterilizing, right? So I'm gonna take the jars out and I'm gonna set them right here on the mat. I have thread on there. Here's the start of our beans. So we're gonna soak them, or not soak them, but cook them for only about 30 minutes. I started for 40 minutes so that I could get it hot. We only want it to, and I burnt a little bean right there. We only want it to boil for a little bit. And I'm gonna cover it again so to make sure everybody can see it. There we go. I use this awesome tool to remove the jars from the canner. Put them on here because they're super hot. Yep, very hot. Don't want to touch it. When you're cooking the black beans, you want them to be slightly soft, not super soft. And that's why I'm just letting it barely boil. I don't want it to be mushy because when you process it, when you can it, it's gonna cook more. So when you're using your pressure canner, just fill it up a little bit. There's usually a line in there. I can't see that line anymore because I use mine all the time, but I can kind of because I have hard water, so it's crazy looking. So now that the beans have cooked for about 30 minutes-ish, they are soft-er, like soft enough to break, but they're still there. So I'm going to pick them up and ladle them in. You can't do this while videotaping, it's way too hard. But I'm gonna take that water too. Take all of it. And if you ever just need a filler, just pour some water in there. See? Okay. Okay, so here I go with my black beans. I have made a huge mess and filled up the jars with the beans, put some water in there, and you leave some head space. That's what that's called. But usually I don't go past right here when I'm pressure canning. Remember, these are definitely going to expand a little bit. So I put more water in some, and I didn't fill it all the way to the top with the beans. Just going to sterilize the top of the jars. I got this water to clean it from here, which is boiling. So it's nice and hot. And I'm going to clean off the top of the jars so that when I have that seal, I have a clean seal. Doesn't make anybody sick. Okay, so we have every jar covered. We are ready to start. I'm going to put the lid on and then we're going to watch the pressure go up. Okay, so I put the lid on and there's this little knot that prevents you from going further. And this knot is, it locks when there's pressure or when it's boiling. So we're gonna get to 10 pounds of pressure on here, and with beans anytime I can just beans, I do 70 minutes for pints and longer for quarts. We made it. Okay, so I'm going to lower the heat on it and just let it hang out for a bit. And it should float around the same pressure. Yep, and then I'm gonna set the timer. So my book says 75 minutes. I usually just do 70 minutes, but because I'm videotaping it, I'll do 75. Okay, cool. I still have 49 minutes left to sit here and stare. All right, so it has been a full 75 minutes. I pick this thing up, I move it onto the counter, I stick it on top of a little thing, whatever those are called. And then I just let it go down by itself. So one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made with cooking beans is that I pull this cap off and release that pressure. Don't ever do that. It causes everything to seep out, all of the water, the juice, and ruins it. Okay, so it is done. See, that little guy isn't up anymore. So I'm gonna open it, turn it away from me because it'll burn my hands like it almost always does. And pull out my frijoles. Yeah. I was just outside pulling weeds. I have a big garden bed that's full of weeds that has been full of weeds since all of that rain we had. Still there. 5. All right, so I have 10 pints. I'm going to show you what it looks like. 10 pints of some beautiful black beans. There we go. Gorgeous, right? The end.